All this is his own experience. And what is most surprising is that it is my experience also. It is my sadhana, which he has worked out. Each object, each event, each realization, all the descriptions, even the colors are exactly what I saw. And the words, phrases, are also exactly what I heard. And all this before having read the book. I read Savitri many times afterwards, but earlier, when he was writing, he used to read it to me. Every morning, I used to hear him read Savitri. During the night, he would write, and in the morning, read out to me. In the morning were those experiences I had the previous night, word by word. Yes, all the descriptions, the colors, the pictures I had seen, the words I had heard, all, I heard it all, put by him into poetry, into miraculous poetry. Yes, they were exactly my experiences of the previous night, which he read out to me the following morning. And it was not just one day by chance, but for days and days together. And every time I used to compare what he said with my previous experiences, and that he had noted them down afterwards. No, he knew already what I had seen. It is my experiences he has presented of our joint adventure into the unknown, or rather, into the supermind. These are experiences lived by him, realities, supracosmic truth. He experienced all these as one experiences joy or sorrow physically. He walked in the darkness of inconscience, even in the neighborhood of death, endured the sufferings of perdition, and emerged from the mud, the world of misery, to breathe the sovereign plenitude and enter the supreme Ananda. He crossed all these realms, went through the consequences, suffered, and endured physically what one cannot imagine. Nobody till today has suffered like him. He accepted suffering to transform suffering into the joy of union with the Supreme. It is something unique and incomparable in the history of the world. It is something that has never happened. He is the first to have traced the path in the unknown, so that we may be able to walk with certitude towards the supermind. He has made the work easy for us. Savitri is his whole yoga of transformation, and this yoga appears now for the first time in the earth consciousness. And I think that man is not yet ready to receive it. It is too high and too vast for him. He cannot understand it, grasp it, for it is not by the mind that one can understand Savitri. One needs spiritual experiences in order to understand and assimilate it. The more one advances on the path of yoga, the more one assimilates, and the better. No, it is something which will be appreciated only in the future. It is the poetry of tomorrow, of which he has spoken in the future poetry. It is too subtle, too refined. It is not in the mind or through the mind. It is in meditation that Savitri is revealed. And men have the audacity to compare it with the work of Virgil or Homer and to find it inferior. They do not understand. They cannot understand. What do they know? Nothing at all. And it is useless to try to make them understand. Men will know what it is, but in a distant future. It is only the new race with a new consciousness which will be able to understand. I assure you there is nothing under the blue sky to compare with Savitri. It is the mystery of mysteries. It is the super epic. It is super literature, super poetry, super vision. It is a super work, even if one considers the number of lines he has written. No, these human words are not adequate to describe Savitri. Yes, one needs superlatives, hyperbolas to describe it. It is a hyper-epic. No, words express nothing of what Savitri is. At least, I do not find them. It is of immense value, spiritual value, and all other values. It is eternal in the subject and infinite in its appeal, miraculous in its mode and power of execution. It is a unique thing. The more you come in contact with this, the higher will you be uplifted. Ah, truly it is something. It is the most beautiful thing he has left for man, the highest possible. What is it? When will man know it? When is he going to lead a life of truth? When is he going to accept this in his life? This yet remains to be known. My child, every day you are going to read Savitri. Read properly, with the right attitude, concentrating a little before opening the pages and trying to keep the mind as empty as possible, absolutely without a thought. The direct road is by the heart. I tell you, if you try to concentrate really with this aspiration, in a very short time, perhaps in a few days, what you cannot do normally, you can do with the help of Savitri. Try, and you will see how very different it is, how new, if you read with this attitude, with this something at the back of your consciousness. As if throughout it were an offering to Sri Aurobindo. You know, it is charged, fully charged with consciousness, as though Savitri were a being, a real guide. I tell you, whoever, wishing to practice yoga, tries sincerely and feels the necessity for it, will be able to climb, with the help of Savitri, to the highest step of the ladder of yoga, will be able to find the secret that Savitri represents, and this without the help of a guru. And he will be able to practice it anywhere. For him, Savitri alone will be the guide. For all that he needs, he will find in Savitri. If he remains very quiet when before a difficulty, or when he does not know where to turn to go forward and how to overcome obstacles, for all these hesitations and these incertitudes which overwhelm us at every moment, he will have the necessary indications and the necessary concrete help. If he remains very calm, open, if he aspires sincerely, always he will be as if led by the hand. If he has faith, the will to give himself, and essential sincerity, he will reach the final goal. Indeed, Savitri is something concrete, living. It is all replete, packed with consciousness. It is the supreme knowledge above all human philosophies and religions. It is the spiritual path. It is yoga, tapasya, sadhana, everything in its single body. Savitri has an extraordinary power. It gives out vibrations for him who can receive them, the true vibrations of each stage of consciousness. It is incomparable. It is truth in its plenitude, the truth Sri Aurobindo brought down on the earth. My child, one must try to find the secret that Savitri represents, the prophetic message Sri Aurobindo reveals there for us. This is the work before you. It is hard, but it is worth the trouble. Blessings, Mother.